friends, welcome back to my garden. So today I wanted to share with you a couple of fruit trees that I was putting in my backyard. It is still very early spring here in Ontario, Canada, so I also garden in zone 6. So these trees are still dormant. I mean, they are starting to wake up a little bit, so I do see some buds and growth on them, so it's a good time to get them in the ground. So that's what I'm planning to do today. I have two trees and I wanted to share with you the specifics of these trees. So this is a plum tree called Mount Royal. So this one is a semi-dwarf tree. The tag says it needs part sun. 3 to 6 hours of daily sun is what it needs, and it is a large blue-black freestone plums with meaty, sweet, juicy flesh, and it grows about 12 to 15 feet tall and wide, and it is very cold hardy. It's hardy up to, I think, zone 4, so minus 34, zone 3 or zone 4. And basically the instructions are you water regularly till it's established. And this tag here has a little bit more detail, pretty much the same, and it says it's great for fresh eating. So this is also product of Canada, so it is the Plum Mount Royal, and this is supposed to be quite winter hardy, and that's what I've been reading up about it. It flowers a little bit later, so it is going to be quite hardy for our weather, because we can get a lot of late freezes. As you can see, it has a lot of new shoots and buds forming, and I particularly picked this one. There was a lot of trees to pick from because it has an open kind of habit already, and that's how I plan to keep it pruned. And I plan to keep them pruned. I'm not gonna let them get too tall. Probably 8 to 10 feet is where I'll keep these. So this is one of them, and the other one that I got is an apricot tree, which is also a semi-dwarf. So this is a semi-dwarf tree. This is a Harcot Apricot, and this one is one of the best apricots. Sweet, juicy, and rich flavor. It's great for colder areas because of its frost hardiness and late blooming, and it's moderately firm freestone flesh that has excellent flavor for eating fresh, and it has the same size requirement. And this one needs full sun. So again, it basically says pay close attention to new plantings and maintain moisture levels but not soggy conditions. And if your plant is established, then you need to only water to avoid any drought. So the planting instructions on this says that do not remove fiber pot. So it probably comes in a fiber pot. It just wants you to cut out the pot and place the tree in the hole at ground level, and then you backfill with soil and tamp it down and water generously. So this is a pot that it comes in, so I just have to cut the spot and put the tree in the ground. And this one too is showing me buds and signs of growth, so which is very, very exciting. So I kind of wanted to get these trees in the ground today, and that's what I'm out doing it. And I wanted to share a little bit about the placement of where I'm planning to put them. So the plum tree, because it says part sun, I'm going to put it in the middle over here. I have a few larger trees in the back, and there is a space, as you can see in the canopy above, where light can come through. So I think I will put this tree here in this spot. And then the plum tree, the apricot tree, I'm going to plant it more on my sunnier side. So what I plan to do is remove some of this branching a little bit, limb it up, and it should get enough light because this is a very bright corner here. So I think I'm going to put this one over here and see how it does. Alternatively, I might even move it more on this side, but I'm not really sure right now. I'm gonna play with it a little bit and decide where it's gonna go. But I'm excited to get these trees. I found them actually at Costco. They had it at a very good price. And I picked up 2 of these, and I've been wanting to try these out in my garden and see how they do. And if nothing, they will be really pretty ornamental trees. They can be really beautiful and early blooming, and I'm all hoping to get a lot of fruit from it over the years as well. So I'm going to actually prepare the holes and try to get them in the ground this morning. It's supposed to be raining a lot over the next couple of days, so it'll be a good time for the trees to get settled in. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on today, and I wanted to take you along. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I post all things plants and gardening, and if you're interested in joining me and if you wish to follow me, do hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you found this video useful. And if you're planting any fruit trees this spring, do let me know in comments below which varieties you're planting. I'm always interested to know what everyone is doing in their gardens, and it's really nice to share and learn from each other. So next I'm going to get the sites prepared, and I'll take you along. So here it is. I've dug up a hole for the Mount Royal plum tree. It's pretty deep and wide. The soil looks pretty in good shape, so I might not put any amendments in here and just let the tree settle. The instructions said that to leave this fiber pot as is because it's cardboard and it's going to eventually disintegrate. The only thing I'm going to do is, as per instructions, is cut off this rim before I put the pot in the ground, and it'll keep everything contained while the tree settles. And once it disintegrates, the roots will kind of spread out on their own as they grow. So I like that idea of putting it in here, and I don't have to do anything to remove it from the pot, which is an extra chore that I'm glad I don't have to do. So it's just going to be as easy. I'm going to put it in this hole and I'm going to backfill it, and I'll take you along what I'm doing. So here it is. I've cut off the edges of this pot and I've placed it in the hole. One thing to remember with trees is that do not bury them deep. We have a tendency when we see bigger things that they need to be buried deep, but trees do not like to be buried deep. This portion, the way it was growing in the pot, that's how I'm going to cover it. The soil is going to sit here, and that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm going to do. But before I backfill with soil, I am going to give it a good soak of water just to make sure that it is deeply watered and there is lots of water all around this planting hole, and make sure that it's hydrated all the way through before I backfill it. So that's what I plan to do. I'm going to let it soak for a couple of minutes before I backfill. So now that the water has soaked in, I'm going to backfill with the native soil. I am not adding any amendments to the soil. For me personally, when I plant trees and shrubs, I like them to adapt to the native soil, and that's what I do. I do not add anything artificial or fertilizers or root starters to them, because it's kind of nice. The tree kind of knows what to do on its own, so, and it has to thrive in your soil and the kind of soil you have, and the key is to keep enriching your soil from the top as much as possible, like adding manure on top. And that's what I might do. I will top dress it in manure just to give it the nutrition that it needs, and mulch around it. So those are the steps that I'll do from the top. But when I'm planting a tree or anything shrub, I do not add any amendments as much as possible. The only thing I add is composted cow manure if I need to, or if I have it on hand and I want to use it, I will add a little bit of it. But I always assess the soil. The soil has a lot of worms in it. It's healthy, and it's quite nicely draining as well. Once I put the water in, it wasn't really sitting on it for too long. So it's good to know your soil. It's good to know what it's doing in your garden and act accordingly. This is what my personal preference is, but everyone is different how they garden and how they're used to gardening and what they like to do when they are planting things. So this is what I do, and I kind of wanted to show you my process. And you know, and so far it's worked for me, so I'm gonna keep doing what I was doing. So yeah, so this one is almost getting planted. I'm gonna slowly backfill, as you can see, the hole with this native soil and get this tree in the ground, and I will show you when it's all completed and what this looks like. So here it is, the Mount Royal plum tree is in the ground, and as you can see, it's at the same level that it was in the pot. The pot is somewhat buried in there, but I can still see a bit of the edges of the pot, and I will be covering it with, top dressing it with a little bit of manure. Here's Ollie sniffing the new tree, licking it and approving it, so I like that. But yeah, I mean, it's in the ground, it's looking good, and my daughter has just gone to get some water, so we're gonna be watering it. And yeah, I mean, it's doing good. I think it's going to be happy in this spot. Going to receive part sun, which is what the tag said. And you know, if I find that it is not receiving enough sun, I can move it, but for now I think it's good in this spot. So yeah, so we're gonna put some water on it and get it hydrated all around it, and it's gonna be settled in its new home. Happy Earth Day, everyone. So here it is, the apricot tree is also in the ground. This tree is a little bit crooked. It's kind of leaning on one side, but that's okay. I think as it gets stabilized in the ground, it will find its shape. I'm not too worried about it. I don't want to stake it and give it support and straighten it. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to follow the same process. It is at the level that I want to plant it in, and I've taken off the rim of the pot, and I'm just going to hydrate everything before I close the hole and backfill and add more soil to it. So again, I'm not amending the soil, I'm just going to use the native soil. If you see, there is a lot of organic material in the pot, and as the pot disintegrates as well, it's going to add organic material in the soil. So I don't really need anything else here, and the soil is pretty free draining, as you can see, so really no worries here. So I'm just going to backfill, and I'll show you when this is all planted and what this looks like. Really excited to get the second one in as well, and it's a really nice thing to do for Earth Day. If you don't have a tree in your backyard or front yard and you want to plant something, it's good to plant trees as much as you can without, you know, obviously there's a limit to how many we can plant. So it's good to plant trees. I already have a few trees, and it's always nice to be able to fit that one more tree in your backyard or front yard. And I always look for opportunities, and fruit trees are good because they may be high maintenance. I might have to spray them eventually if I see any disease or bugs on them, but for now, I think for the next year or two, I just have to watch and see what they're going to be doing in this environment, and then accordingly I might have to do some spraying or something along those lines. But I'm not too worried about it right now. I just want to see how they do in my environment, and it's a good one to try, and the benefit is it gives you edibles, so that's even better. So let me get this in the ground and I'll show you what this looks like. Here it is, the fruit trees are planted in the garden. This is the Mount Royal plum tree. I've put a little bit of mulch around it, and I think it looks really good in this spot. And I've also planted the apricot tree here, and it's also looking really good. This one was a little bit crooked, but I think it'll be okay in this spot. And I've also put mulch around this one. So I just wanted to thank you guys for watching this video. It's beautiful this morning, and I wanted to show you what these trees look like. They are looking happy and settling in their new home, and I can't wait for them to leaf out and grow. So thank you again for watching. It's slowly starting to break here with spring, and things are starting to green up a little bit, and I am looking forward to doing a garden tour soon. So with that, I hope everyone is having a fabulous day, and thank you again for watching.